reminder video. Dear women, or just like people who are in that role of woman, you know what I mean. Your worth should never be measured by what you do in life. Your worth is not based off what you do. You can let everybody convince you of that, but it is not true. And if people start measuring your worth on what you do, then they really don't understand your true value, and that's a red flag. Your existence is valuable. Your presence, your energy. You work so hard on yourself to be there for yourself. That is freaking valuable. And if people can't see that, they don't deserve you. You gotta snap these people out of it. Be like, hey, my presence is valuable. And the degree of presence I have is even more valuable. Those of you that really did the inner work, you're so valuable, dude. And there's people out there saying that you're not valuable because you don't do certain things, or you don't have a job or whatever, or all this dumb stuff. That is not a measure of your value. Never let anyone measure your value based off what you do. It is not your problem that they cannot see your value. They have more work to do. It is on them. Remember your value. Always turn that energy back to you. Detach from these people. You don't force, but you create the intention to detach. Be like, hey, my value is not measured on what I do. It is my presence, my beingness. You deserve the world. You have worked hard on yourself. You have been there for yourself more than anybody ever has in your reality. And you know it. So why the heck are you letting these people say that you're not valuable because you don't do certain things or meet to their ways of bypassing and whatever, like, not so healthy things that they want from you? The fact that they can't even appreciate your presence says a lot about them and nothing about you. Take it from me, I've experienced this, and I try not to entertain it because it is total BS, and it is that person and nothing to do with you. It is their complete lack of presence, their ability not to see their own shadow and take accountability for themselves. The fact that they don't appreciate your very presence, wisdom, everything deep that you present shows where they're at. And at the end of the day, you need to have somebody who meets you there and not is inconsistent and continues to be inconsistent. It is not fair to you that they do not appreciate your very presence, your ability to be expressive without apology. You're very important if you are this way, authentic, expressive, very firm with your beliefs. And as for guys, if you're with a woman like this, I'll tell you what, she is done. She is tired. She does not feel appreciated. She does not feel like you truly love her. Because if you did, you would not be inconsistent and be this Jekyll Hyde character. That's not healthy. Nobody deserves to be put through that. When you do that, you're causing more wounds. And she's not meant to heal from you. She's meant to heal from other things. So start taking responsibility and being more mindful of your shadow. Otherwise, you do not belong in a relationship until you really snap out of it and start paying the heck attention to your emotions, to your own shadow, to your own mind and your projections, and being more mindful. And as for men experiencing women that are toxic, you would have to ask a question about that. So I need to know like what kind and like how she's showing up. But at the end of the day, she's your mirror, dude. If you keep trying to mirror her, the mirror, it's just gonna, you're just being one of those people that's passive aggressive. You're not healing, you're defending a pattern that you refuse to be conscious of. This woman is incredible and needs to be super cherished. She's what helps the both of you grow. Her and, both of you together. But when you defend and mirror and decide to not be conscious of your own toxicity, don't let these people get to you. These people that are trying to measure your worth based off of what you do. It is your presence. And I'm sorry, dude. If you're one of those dudes who are also afraid that their worth is being measured by what they do, it's not about that. Actually, everybody who actually cares about presence that is the most important. So, if you're not matching her presence, why the hell do you think you're better than her? She deserves to have high standards. It's not hard to be kind and to work on your shadow and not to throw your shadow around like a buffoon, you know? So, again, your worth is not measured by what you do. It is your presence. You are valuable and worthy. And your worth goes up the more you're not abandoning yourself. And I'm sorry, but if you're with somebody who abandons themselves more than you do, guess who has more worth? Sorry, the person that abandons themselves less. Harsh reality, but it is what it is. Self-love. So, do not abandon your inner child for people trying to measure your worth off of what you do. You lay it down firm, and that's it. The universe is on your side, period. Just keep trusting. That's all you gotta do. The biggest issue is we have reduced animals as an object. We don't even see them as their own being anymore. We have reduced them to an object. We see them as some kind of object, a lifeless life form. We have forgotten the liveliness. We don't see it anymore. You end up being so disconnected, so far away from being connected and seeing the life form as it is. You have reduced it to a means to an end, not appreciating the life form, not even seeing it as a part of you. That is one of the biggest issues that humans still continue to do. They rape, they torture them, they put them in confinements. There's also a small percentage that treats them well and then sends them off to a slaughterhouse. The same slaughterhouse as all of them. And then people look at the flesh and they don't even make the connection. It's just an object. They don't even call it flesh. They've named names to disconnect further from the truth. And people will extend this to nature too. Try to cut down trees. Try to take out grass, take out weeds, control bees, spray pesticides. It goes on and on. It's like a control and just seeing things as an object, not acknowledging it for what it really is. It is important to get more in touch with nature, and it is not torturing, killing animals, viewing them as an object, seeing yourself as superior.
Say or do, it's valid for you to feel that fear because you're perceiving those consequences to exist. The next thing you need to do is to get very, very clear When you are using limbo as a subconscious power strategy, or even a conscious one, then you will actually use confusion as a way of disguising the fact that you're using limbo as a power strategy. A better way of saying this is you are going to use confusion as a way of disguising your unwillingness to face and deal with whatever situation in your life you feel like you can't deal with and can't face.
You can't fool me. People think that they can fool me and try to tell me that I don't see anything. I can see people in layers. I can literally see right through people and what exactly they are doing. And half the time, it does not feel good because they're not being authentic and they're using very toxic subconscious strategies. Now, here's a very prime example. The universe always shows me and confirms what I deeply see all the time. But people, when they refuse to face themselves, they will do all these manipulative strategies to not face themselves. It is time to step in your power and stop being a coward. Any and all of you that use any type of strategy to avoid yourself. Now, here is the example.
You're feeling the way you're feeling, regardless of whether or not you're actually perceiving accurate consequences that might come as a result of something you might decide or say or do. It's valid for you to feel that fear because you're perceiving those consequences to exist. The next thing you need to do is to get very, very clear. When you are using limbo as a subconscious power strategy, or even a conscious one, then you will actually use confusion as a way of disguising the fact that you're using limbo as a power strategy. A better way of saying this is you are going to use confusion as a way of disguising your unwillingness to face and deal with whatever situation in your life you feel like you can't deal with and can't face. If you're stuck in limbo, you will keep trying to distract, postpone, defend, analyze, rationalize, and explain the situation. You do this so you can expend energy without having to make a decision or take an action. Essentially, whether you realize it or not, you're actively spinning your wheels so as to avoid moving forward. So the question you need to ask yourself is, how are you confusing yourself? And how does doing so benefit you? Be brave enough to see the personal payoffs that staying stuck in limbo and keeping other people in limbo is giving to you. From there, you need to make a conscious choice. Either consciously choose to stay in limbo, knowing very powerfully the reason why you're doing it and also the consequences for doing so, or get the hell out of it. From there, face and examine and identify how to approach and resolve the fear you have in your situation, and then face, examine, and identify how to approach and resolve the problem that you're afraid about in and of itself. Whatever you do, do not ignore, do not deny, do not run away from the problem that you are facing. Serious rule of thumb there. Don't go into avoidance mode. Also, don't postpone the problem. You'll find that a lot of people who are stuck in limbo, who become aware of the limbo that they're stuck in, tend to slip into this place of being like, okay, I just need to figure myself out or to resolve the fear before I move forward. And actually, that just is one more excuse to stay in limbo and keep other people stuck there. Get in the habit of playing things out. If you are using the subconscious or conscious strategy of limbo as a power strategy, then most likely you're playing a short-term game. You're not playing out what the consequences of staying in limbo will be. This means you need to become aware of long-term repercussions, not just short-term repercussions. So the first thing that you need to become aware of is the long-term repercussions of staying in limbo. Literally close your eyes and just watch what happens in a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years.
As you see, Big Sister is always helpful at pinpointing and clarifying I never had the words or terms to explain what I've been seeing. But yeah, don't use this power strategy with people that you proclaim you love, because it's not love. You're hurting them, you're hurting yourself, and you wonder why you're not growing in the ways that you desire to grow. You have subconscious patterns holding you back, and things manifest in reality for you to see what is going on. So make the conscious choice. Stop playing these things and just be real, raw, and honest. Because life will just be mediocre, and you'll keep learning the hard way and have people suffer around you. That's not okay.